Hey, Stereopolice. Hey, this video is really more for my hardcore, tried and true subscribers. I realize the video I made last night about Akatika. Well, let me give you an update about Akatika, but I realize there are a lot more viewers than usual. Based on that video, which I'm quite shocked about. I guess there's a lot more folks who really understand the value of Akatika and the merits of Akatika. I had no idea, and so I'm really happy to present that to you. And that's the impetus for what I'm about to tell you. But I really want to get into a rant tonight because my subscribers that have been with me for many years know that I sometimes rant, and I just feel like doing it tonight. As far as Akatika goes, I had a viewer today, a viewer, I guess, a commenter suggest that I try some different music, and I asked him what music to try. What he suggested, some jazz. So I'll do some jazz. I'll put on whatever he suggested. I don't know what it is right now. I'm exhausted. A long day at work. In the intellectual property field. Sometimes that entails reading hundreds and hundreds of pages of text, legal analysis and such. But, and I've been doing it since 4 this morning too. Anyway, tomorrow night we're going to hook up Akatika, and we're going to compare it to the amplifier section of Yamaha AS1100, another incredibly fine amplifier, another unfair comparison to Akatika. And you know, I'm doing it because I didn't realize it, because I've never done this before with Yamaha. It has the preamp out and main in, so I can separate the amp and preamp. So that's what we'll do. We'll do the identical comparison that we did with Lux. We'll do with Yamaha tomorrow night, and check that out. And I will also do it with the jazz tune suggested by one of my commenters. By the way, a commenter who thought my room sucked and my music sucked. But that's the kind of guy I am. I try to live and learn, bro. I'm not angry, even though I seem it sometimes. But listen, I just wanted to note out to my loyal subscribers on what I'm doing here, you know. And again, I don't have a script, so if I'm flumphering around with words and it's late and I'm tired, I want to get back into a rant about the bullshit in hi-fi, and and I want to give you like 3 reasons why. Well, first of all, let me tell you, and if you're new to my channel, you know, I don't give a shit about views. I don't care. If I get 1 view, I'm happy. And I don't care about analytics or views or anything like that. So yeah, whatever. If you don't like what I'm saying, you got a fucking off button, you know? Move out. But one of the reasons I came back to the Stereopolice channel, and my time here is limited. I'm not going to be around forever. I'm going to be retiring, and once I retire, I'm going fishing. But is one of the reasons is as a hobby, I don't think there's any other hobby, and I've been into a lot of hobbies, you know, whether it's photography or automobiles or, you know, aquariums or you name the hobby, trains, whatever, whatever. I have never seen a hobby saturated with more bullshit than high-end audio or hi-fi. And it's just incredible. And there's like, off the top of my head, I can think of 3 reasons for it. And I've been ranting about it lately, and I want to just tell you why and what I'm doing about it. It's one thing to rant about something, bitch, whine, moan, and complain. And it's another thing to do something about it. And I'm doing both, I think. I hope. So, you know, I'm pointing out some of the bullshit and the hyperbole and the wild statements, and just I've already done that. I continue to do it. And I suspect reason number 1 for it. I'm trying to formulate my thoughts here because, again, nothing is scripted. But reason number 1 is, let's start with the reviewers. I've been on this rant for a while. Unlike movie reviewers, food reviewers, any other reviewer you can think of, the reviewers in this industry have a very intimate relationship with manufacturers. Not an adversarial relationship like other reviewers. And I'm not saying anyone's doing anything wrong, but it's much more of an intimate relationship. And to the point where I think that reviewers are, like I told you before, are much more salesmen than reviewers. And also, a lot of reviewers are just not that technically knowledgeable, really. And are just completely susceptible to bullshit. And like I told you, it's almost like a religion. And it's just saturated with so much hype. It's unbelievable. And that's why I'm on the high value kick now. Not a kick. I think it's real. I think it's realistic. And a lot of the reviewers that I have in mind are very good people. You know, good folks, earning a living. But and I'll give you examples. You know, like, well, not even the mainstream reviewers, but a lot of the lesser people. I surf a lot on YouTube, and people talk about, you know, changing capacitors to this brand or that brand, you know, Vichy or whatever, or this resistor, or a bit upgraded to this kind of capacitor, this kind of resistor. It made a difference in sound. It's just nonsense. You know, Mark II, version 2, you know, you spend an extra $1,000 and you get an upgraded capacitor to a different brand or something like that. You know, you get the idea. It's bullshit. It's nonsense, but reviewers, and no fault of their own, they're not technically knowledgeable about electronics, so they buy into it. And when they buy into it, psychologically, they want to hear the difference, and so they do. A while back, if you go back to a video, I forget what it was, where I did an A/B comparison. I'll get to that. Okay. And so what one of the things I'm doing about it is I have Audiophile University out there right now, and I'm trying my best to put in fairly layman's terms a university on how electronics really work. So when ordinary audiophiles hear some of this nonsense, you know, you can just process this stuff and realize it's bullshit from a practical standpoint. And some of the biggest heaping, steaming piles of bullshit comes in the form of speaker cables that cost us exorbitant amounts of money. But that's not the only realm. And it's fine if you want to spend that much, if you want eye candy, and if you want prestige. You know, and if you're, you know, if someone's a narcissist or whatever, do it. Who gives a shit? But if you're doing it because someone told you it sounds better, that's wrong. And so what happens is we have this perpetual cycle. So these reviewers think that these things sound better, or that, you know, because the price goes up and the faceplates look nice and you know, there's a big name engineer behind it, or there's a legacy, or I can't, you know, they're going to give it a better review because psychologically they think it sounds better. And so here's how things perpetuate. So, and also, you know, these reviewers are very intimate with the manufacturers. They're not adversarial like other reviewers, movies, and food, and think about anything. And then the manufacturers, on the other hand, they want to sell stuff, and I don't fault them for that. You know, they're in the business of, you know, if they have stakeholders or stockholders or whatever, they're in the business of making them money. So, on the other hand, they're going to, in turn, market the same bullshit to their consumers and to the reviewers, who are going to, in turn, buy into it. And it just has continued to perpetuate it over and over again. We've gotten to this point, we're at a breaking point. And so that's all I'm doing now, is I'm just trying to point some of this stuff out to my subscribers. And there was another point I wanted to make. I'm not doing a good job of making my point, I think. Yeah, so I think the way out is education. And that education comes in the form of understanding how the core, the base technology works. And that's what I'm trying to do with Audiophile University. And that's why I'm doing it. And you can see that when I put these, you know, and I got my little sense of humor. It's goofy and it falls flat sometimes and it's stupid and all that. But when I do my educational videos, you know, I'm pretty serious about it. And I hope you guys enjoy it and get something out of it. And where I hope to go in the future, at least for the time being while I'm still at this, is I hope to continue to find high value gear. And I hope to continue to demonstrate that you don't need to spend a mint to get something that sounds just as good. And I've told you before, I'm not part of the religion, so I'm not going to sit here and talk about all this terminology that some of these reviewers and audiophiles talk about, because I think it's just psychological and it's not real. It just isn't. I think if you just sit down and relax and compare a high value product like the Akatika or some of the, you know, the Yamaha AS301 or what have you, there are differences between components, but are they really that much? Are they really that great? Is there really that much of a value add between, for example, this Luxman you're looking at and that Akatika? No. You know, I could live with that Akatika forever. In fact, I can't wait to get the 108. You know, if it's that good, I'd be willing to part with the Luxman and get some cash out of it and buy some other high value stuff and continue, you know, continue this cycle. Happy with it. I'll never get rid of my Klipsch. You know, once you find something like that, you want to keep it. The Cornwall 3s. Not the 4s. I don't like them. But that's about the best I can say. I don't know what else to say, but I might not even post this video. It might sound silly, but that's what I'm trying to do. And I hope you guys still enjoy it. Hope to continue to do it. Sorry I'm a little hoarse tonight. I did a lot of speaking today at my job. But yeah, that's about it. So I plan, let me just finalize by saying I plan to do the Akatika versus Yamaha comparison tomorrow night. I don't want to do any more because I don't want to oversaturate this Akatika thing. I have no interest in them. Then I'll move on to something else till I get the 108. Then I'll move on to something else after that. End of story. Love to find some other high value product. And actually, I want to demonstrate a crappy amplifier too. I want to do a negative review as well. Alright guys, not really a rant, just some random thoughts on a Friday night before a snowstorm here in Central Virginia. Y'all have a good one. Thanks. Ciao. Stereopolice.